I never believed in ghosts, not really. But the day I found that doll in the attic of the old house my grandmother left me, I felt something, like a shiver walking over my grave. The doll was tucked away in a forgotten corner, nestled among dusty boxes and faded photographs. It was porcelain, with one cracked eye and a dress faded by decades of neglect. I almost threw it out. Almost. Instead, I set it on my desk, a curious keepsake from the past. That night, the air grew unseasonably cold, and I dreamed of a woman's whisper, soft and urgent, but I couldn't make out the words. The next day, I found myself drawn to the doll. Her other eye seemed to follow me around the room. "I'm losing it," I muttered, trying to laugh it off. But as darkness fell, the whispers returned. Clearer this time. "Beware the basement," the voice murmured, so close it could have been my own thoughts. I ignored it, attributing the whispers to the stress of moving and the strangeness of inheriting a house I barely remembered. 2 days later, curiosity, or was it something else, drove me to pull open the heavy basement door. The air smelled of mildew and forgotten things. I switched on the light, but it flickered and died. Heart pounding, I descended with only the flashlight on my phone to guide me. The basement was cluttered with old furniture and boxes stacked haphazardly. As I moved deeper, the beam of my flashlight fell on the old furnace. It was then I smelled it. Gas. The hiss was faint, nearly inaudible over the sound of my breathing. Panicked, I rushed back upstairs, grabbed my phone, and called the gas company. They confirmed a leak, a dangerous one. If I'd waited, if I'd sparked a light, or even the stove upstairs. I looked at the doll, sitting silently on my desk. "Was that you?" I asked, not expecting an answer. The weeks that followed brought more whispers, always at night, always a warning. "The wiring," the voice urged, and sure enough, an inspection revealed old fraying wires that could have sparked a fire at any moment. "The roof," she insisted another night, and the next day a section of the old shingles collapsed. It wasn't long before I accepted her presence as a part of my life. The doll, my peculiar guardian angel, kept her silent vigil. I even gave her a name, Mara. One stormy night, with wind howling like a wounded animal, Mara's warnings became frantic. "Leave! Now!" she urged, her voice a desperate shriek in my dreams. I didn't hesitate. I grabbed my coat and keys, and as I opened the front door, a massive oak tree limb crashed through the roof right into my bedroom. Standing in the pouring rain, staring at the destruction mere feet from where I would have been sleeping, I knew Mara had saved my life. Again, months passed and I repaired the house, respecting its history and its mysteries. I even made a new spot for Mara, a little shelf where she could watch over me without obstruction. I don't know why she chose to help me, or what bound her spirit to that doll. Maybe she was a previous owner, or perhaps she was tied to the land itself. It didn't really matter. She was my unseen protector, my silent sentinel. I learned to listen when she spoke, to heed the warnings whispered through cracked porcelain lips. But with each warning, a new demand followed. Mara's voice grew insistent, almost greedy. "Something in return," she whispered one chilling night. Confused and a bit scared, I asked, "What do you want?" "A memory," she replied with a haunting echo. I hesitated, but the thought of the dangers she had saved me from spurred my consent. That night I slept deeply and awoke feeling lighter, as if a burden had been lifted. Yet, as I made breakfast, I found gaps in my memory. Entire days missing, laughter I could no longer recall with friends whose faces were blurs. The price grew steeper with each whisper. A favorite song, the taste of my mother's cooking, the comforting feel of a cherished old book, all vanished, consumed by Mara's growing need. I began to fear her warnings, each one a harbinger of loss. One stormy evening, Mara's demand was clear. "Your heartache from your first love." It was a deep, private pain I had tucked away, a part of who I was, who I had become. I stood before her, the doll's gaze unblinking and expectant. "Enough," I whispered, my voice firm but trembling. "No more." Mara was silent. The house felt suddenly colder, the shadows deeper. That night the whispers stopped, and in their absence, a stark, unsettling quiet took hold. I was free from her demands, but the silence brought no peace. The warnings ceased, and with them, the protections they afforded. I was alone, truly alone, grappling with the emptiness of my fragmented memories, each missing piece a reminder of the cost of safety, the price of whispers. I lived alone, haunted not by a spirit but by the gaps in my soul, the silences where once there had been life. Mara, the haunted doll in my attic, remained on her shelf, a silent sentinel no more, her cracked lips sealed as if in judgment.